listen to the reaction of a guest, our friend, Mr. Africanus Aveh, who has read the book and who will tell us what he thinks about it. Mr. Africanus Aveh.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Bringing greetings from Accra, Ghana. Thank you very much, Patron, for inviting me over here. And it's been a great honor coming all the way here. This is my first time at the University of Legon campus. I crossed to Abome Calabi, but I haven't been here, so this is my first time of being here. Yeah, thank you. About 7 years ago, my senior colleague, Professor Kofi Anidoho, that many of you might know him, handed over to me a manuscript which he said had been written by a student of his. And I was to review it for consideration for possible test production by one of my directing students at the School of Performing Arts, University of Ghana, Legon. And that was how I came to know Patron Henekou, through the interactions that we had, trying to revise the manuscript that is sent to me, that today we have here at Dovlo, a worthless sweat. In the preparations towards the production of this script, I have developed a radio version, a screen version, in addition to the original stage version, and I will explain that. This is because, as I stand here, I call myself a hybrid person. I trained in theater and also in film. So I currently teach and practice in both disciplines. So when I got hold of the script, I found out that the script was suitable for production in all these three mediums. And so I have been preparing myself for any of the three that will lend itself at the appropriate time and place. And that will be sooner than thought. We're going to have a stage version, a radio version, and a screen version very, very soon, I promise. Legon has delved deep into the book. And I'm just going to add a little bit to what he has said. The play, Dovlo, a worthless word, is very rich in the traditions and culture of the people, whether in Ghana, Togo, or Benin. Let's take the description of the funeral rites of an elderly person like Pogato, the pouring of the libation by the Tronunola, and the use of proverbs in the speech. And we quote, what is the say of the tortoise when it comes to bargaining over heights? If you don't understand that, then you are not an African. The symbolic names, Kulepato. The Kulepato. Throwing of spiritual blows. If you are not an African, you will know that you can throw a blow in the spiritual realm. And the person can either receive the blow or dodge it. That is in the place. All these demonstrate the playwright's deep knowledge of the society that he's writing for, in order to remain relevant amongst his people. Another side of the playwright is communicated to the readers and audience is his good sense of humor. He says he's a shy person. Well, he's a shy person, but deep under that shyness is a very rich sense of humor. So the play ends on a tragic note. We get a good dose of laughter in the antics of Kulepato throughout the various scenes he appears. After in Ghana we say you rub your mouth. After rubbing the mouth plenty, you know, and then you are just going and then just some small antics from Fogan, and then he fell down and then he collected his sandals and then he walked off, you know, trying to feel big, but it's no big. The playwright choice of words placed in the mouth of some of the characters give us additional comic relief here and there, which is very good for a tragedy. You don't have to have tense moments from the beginning to the end. Shakespeare does that a lot. Before the very dramatic point of a tragic event, we have some kind of comic relief to release the tension before it takes us high up there. And Henekou does that in Dovlo. Drama, they say, thrives on conflicts and contrasts. And Henekou gives us 10 situations that build up and explode right in our faces. Taboos are broken with tragic consequences. We have generational conflicts, modernity in opposition to tradition, spiritual conflict, internal conflict. We have them all in Dovlo, but less one. But as with every work of art, it's not perfect. No art is perfect. So, I have identified some little problems in the play. That is my problem. It might not be your problem. First is the absence of a glossary of non-English words and expressions to guide a non-Aveh reader to get full meanings of their usage. Who left back? If you are not an Aveh, you wouldn't understand the deep meaning of that. The children are poured libation, and the libation text is very cultural, invoking the spirits, invoking the ancestors, invoking the deities. If you are not guided, you will not get the import of the libation and other non-English expressions that flow through the text. Sacred, you know, if you are not an Aveh, you wouldn't know what that, you know, swear word means. Asaka. Perhaps a revised edition will correct that, Mr. Director of the publishing house. Secondly, an inexperienced theater director attempting to produce this play will face a daunting task of realizing some of the sceneries and might be compelled to do away with them. Something that I have seen a lot as a teacher of theater arts. And in doing away with some of the difficult sceneries that you wouldn't be able to put on the stage, you are destroying the play. For example, in Act 2, Scene 1, where a lorry runs over a cock, how is that to be staged in a conventional proscenium theater? But that is a very symbolic act, foreshadowing, you know, the tragedy and the troubles to come. This brings me to my earlier point that I made about having developed 3 adaptations for Dovlo, Worthless Words. The scene of a lorry running over a cock can effectively be achieved cinematically, and so are other sceneries in the play. Let's take the opening for example, and I quote, "The scene opens with a landscape view of Henekou, healthy vegetation noticeable through the green leaves and flowers in full bloom of the crops that move gently in the fresh morning breeze. Birds rock this atmosphere with their diverse and succulent melodies. Yonder, the river, the ancestral river, keeps flowing with renewed impulse." How are you going to depict this on stage? It's not that easy, but that is Henekou for you. Playwrights need not to be that straightforward. They need to be a little complex. They need to give you, you know, some food for thought. They need to give you somewhat to do as a theater director. They need to give you some point to reflect on as a reader or as an audience. And Henekou has done that. Let me conclude by saying that Patron Henekou has given us Dovlo, a worthless word. What we can do with it as artists and scholars is endless. It comes highly recommended to all. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this experience, and thank you, Henekou, for giving us Dovlo, a worthless word.